India enters its third phase of the lockdown, with several of the graded relaxations that has been given across the country in various zones, which is the red, orange and the green zones. Now, these zones have been categorized across the country based on the number of COVID cases that has been reported. Meanwhile, this particular phase is going to continue for the next 2 weeks till the 17th of May. The total number of positive cases in the country now crosses the 42,000 mark, with over 1,400 deaths that have been reported. Now, with the graded relaxations that have been put in place, this is a report that is coming in from Karnataka's Hubballi district, where people were seen in the morning standing in queue outside the liquor shops. And these are standalone liquor shops that has been allowed to function between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. But people, in fact, were seen standing in line since 8 a.m. onwards. Let me go across to my colleague Neha Hivale, who's joining me live, getting us those updates there. Neha, good morning. This, of course, with regards to the graded relaxations, we are going to be looking at liquor shops, standalone liquor shops being opened. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Neha in just a bit. But these are important updates coming in. This is, of course, the third phase of the lockdown. There is, of course, a lot of graded relaxations that has been given, and a lot of measures are also being taken up by all the states at this point to ensure that while these relaxations are being implemented, there is strict vigil being kept on ensuring that social distancing norms are also equally followed and they are not flouted. This is a report that is coming in from Karnataka's Hubballi district, where people were in fact seen outside liquor shops as government had allowed standalone liquor shops to function. The sale of liquor is, of course, going to be open only from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. But in this case, people were seen in Hubballi standing outside the liquor shop since 8 in the morning. Let me go across to my colleague Neha for further updates on this. Neha, first of all, tell us the kind of situation on ground in Hubballi, where we saw people queuing up outside the standalone liquor shops. Were proper measures being followed? Were social distancing norms also being followed?
Well, Apurva, surprisingly, yes. What we're actually seeing is inordinate queues outside the liquor shops in Bengaluru. There are at least, a good 50 to 70 people outside most of the liquor shops. But having said that, yes, in fact, even though we're seeing such inordinate queues, people have come completely equipped. They're wearing their masks. They're wearing, some of them even wearing gloves. They're all standing in a queue, maintaining, the distance that they're supposed to maintain. In some places, remember that this is only the first 1 hour of the shops having been opened. So going forward, of course, we'll have to really see how it progresses through the day, but shops will in fact only remain open till about 7 p.m. So apart from this also, if we look at the other things that are currently open in Bengaluru and how life is, limping back to normalcy, we're seeing that most companies have in fact, of course, opened shop today. They're allowing their, employees to work over there in a minimum capacity. Apart from that, government offices also, of course, are functioning, 100% the essential departments that we're looking at. So traffic too, of course, is slowly coming back to normal.
Okay.
But having said that, the containment zones in in Bengaluru or in Karnataka are going to be very, very closely monitored, because there is very restricted activity that's allowed in these containment zones. The capital Bengaluru alone has about 21 containment zones out of the 198 wards. So essentially that means that 90% of the city of the Bengaluru city of the IT capital is going to be seeing activities resuming today.
All right, but also, Neha, while we understand the graded relaxations that is going to be enforced in Karnataka as well, if we just talk about the standalone liquor stores, what is the kind of preparation that is being made on ground? Are we looking at additional deployment of perhaps the police and administration to ensure that in none of these places social distancing norms are flouted and there is a smooth process that is really continuing at this point?
Well, Apurva, in fact, yes, a lot of thought that went into allowing standalone liquor shops and also standalone shops, essential, non-essential, both to be open in Bengaluru. Of course, the police are patrolling, all of these areas where the shops are open. They're ensuring then that people are maintaining distance, and also imperative to remember that the police have in fact issued a strict warning saying anybody that's found violating these norms, either of course the shopkeeper or the people who are there in line to buy the groceries or buy whatever else is being sold, very strict action will be taken against them. They will be booked under section 188 of the IPC for violating the lockdown. So ideally, of course, the onus of ensuring that there's no crowd around their markets lies with the owner. So many shops, of course, like we're seeing, have deployed extra people in order to ensure that, the long queues are actually maintained, that people maintain, distance even in these queues. Because remember that liquor shops are opening in, of course, the city, in the state, almost after about a good 40 days. So understandably so that, people are, of course, in queue over there. But having said that, as of now, as of 10 a.m. this morning, the situation seems to be a little under control. We'll have to wait and see how it goes progressing through the day.
All right, Neha, many thanks for joining us and bringing us all those updates there. Let's now get your update coming in from the national capital. The residents in Delhi were in fact seen thronging a vegetable market, and this is in Ghazipur Mandi and Okhla Mandi as well. And these are some of the vegetable markets in the national capital, and people could be seen thronging to all these mandis. However, police had to also step in and manage the crowd and control the situation in one of those mandis, which is in Okhla. Let me go across to my colleague Alok for further updates on this. Alok, what is the situation in the national capital? There are, of course, graded relaxations that has been given in the national capital as well. But there is, of course, an important need to ensure that things don't go out of hand. In this particular case, in Ghazipur Mandi and Okhla Mandi, how is the situation being managed?
Well, in all the mandis like Ghazipur Mandi, Okhla Mandi, or Azadpur Mandi, these are the national capitals, big wholesaling mandis, and where the people usually gather for 24 hours because the transaction and the business always keep happening. But because of the lockdown, there are restrictions for the people, for the trucks which are coming to there. But despite that, number of trucks usually comes, people daily comes to buy the vegetables so that they could sell in the retail markets as well. Lot of people usually gather at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Despite the presence of police, some kiosk daily happens. This is not new in the national capital. Daily government advises the people not to come close, follow the lockdown orders, follow the social distancing. Despite that, these kinds of visuals daily comes. We hope that because Delhi government is giving relaxation to various people on various sectors as well, it will increase the number of people on road as well. We hope that people will understand the seriousness of this whole situation, and government will also put some strict measures for
Absolutely.
these mandis.
All right. We are, of course, going to be looking at all of these developments very closely, Alok, but also give us a sense of what have been the kind of graded relaxations that will be witnessed in the national capital now.
Well, yesterday Arvind Kejriwal did a press conference. It was a digital press conference where he has announced that little bit more relaxation in the red zone. And in fact, remember, Delhi government is in the condition that they want to give more relaxation, because yesterday Arvind Kejriwal has said that the economic condition of the Delhi, of the national capital, is not so good. The revenue is completely dried up, and rupees 3,500 crore, it has come down to rupees 350 crore. So they want some more relaxation. They want to open the shops. They want to business to be done in the national capital, and that's why they will request the central government as well, so that they could give them more relaxation. If we talk about the central government, the Delhi government has already give relaxation to open the liquor shop, to open the pan gutka shops as well. But people have to keep in mind that they have to maintain the social distancing. The domestic help can resume their work. Electrical, those who are repairing these electrical items, they can resume their works. Mechanics can resume their work. Auto parts, people who work in the auto parts shops, they can resume their work. These are the things that Delhi government is giving more relaxation to the people who are connected to this. Apart from that, Delhi government has also allowed people to gather in 50 if there is a marriage function. Also, if any death happened, then 20 people can be allowed. So these kinds of relaxation Delhi government has given, but no public transport will be used as of now. No metro, no bus, definitely no interstate transportation will happen. So this is the restriction in the national capital. No gathering happen at any place. So this is the way the Delhi government is going on as of now. But in the coming days, we hope that more relaxation will happen, because Delhi government has assured that they want more relaxation.
All right, Alok, many thanks for joining us and bringing us those updates there from the national capital.
In a world hit by an unprecedented pandemic, uncertainty is the new normal. But what will it take to reboot, reload, and relaunch India's economy? India Revival Mission, a Times Network thought leadership initiative, will find the answers to guide the path from business continuity back to economic certainty. A goal-oriented initiative to bring together the best minds to develop a comprehensive revival strategy for India. It's time for India to reorient its trajectory. It's time for India Revival Mission.
All right, as the nationwide lockdown still continues, we are in the third phase of the lockdown, which is going to continue for the next 2 weeks till the 17th of May. Every state has, of course, given a certain graded relaxations. In the national capital as well, as my colleague Alok was pointing out, several of the graded relaxations has been given, keeping in mind the economic situation as well. Just yesterday, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal did point out that there is a need to revive the economy, and that is the reason there are certain graded relaxations that has been put in place. However, there is of course an appeal that had come in from the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, asking people to be extremely careful and to not flout any of the social distancing norms while going about their daily lives. It is extremely important to keep the situation under control. Let me take in a word here from my colleague Deepak, who's joining me right now from Bengaluru, getting us an update from on ground. Now, he's joining us from one of the bus stops in Bengaluru. Deepak, good morning. Give us a sense of what you're seeing on ground from one of the bus stops that you're joining us from Bengaluru. With the third phase of the lockdown in place, there are graded relaxations that has been given. What is the situation on ground?
Well, this is the Majestic bus stand, one of the main primary bus stands in the city of Bengaluru right now, witnessing, of course, a huge rush for people to head back to their hometowns. This is, the provision that's being made by the state government starting from yesterday. Free travel, of course, for anybody within Karnataka. But the concern, of course, from the last couple of days has been how will they really manage the crowds here. Even now, we are looking at a lesser number of people right outside the buses, because most of them are seated inside most of these buses, which have a capacity of about 60 people. 30 people are being allowed. The police, the KSRTC personnel, along with the civil defense, are really helping, assist and ensure that social distancing is maintained. But now you can see, as soon as a bus comes in, a huge crowd gathers outside these buses, and that's where the issue of social distancing really comes in. And you can see, they are trying to speak to the officials, argue with them. Overall, there's a lot of confusion with regard to interstate or rather the inter-district travel as well, because Bengaluru is in a red zone. There are people who are traveling to green or orange zones. So whether now is it feasible to allow so many people to travel? But of course, they cannot really control the number of people who are coming here. There are thermal readers as well, which are checking temperatures of people who are going inside. But as far as passes are concerned, for the so-called one-way travel, that's something that's not really being strictly adhered to. We'll really have to wait and watch as the day progresses, whether the police, the civil defense and the other staff here will have the same patience to control the kind of crowd that continues to come in here.
All right, Deepak, this is also a bit concerning because we don't see a lot of social distancing norms really being followed there, and it is quite important because right now there is a need to continue to follow the social distancing norms. While we are looking at this bus stop, which is relatively empty, you are saying that it is going to be perhaps more people could be coming in later. Are there any proper process being followed? Are there administration who's there, the police who are managing the entire crowd, making sure that there is no overcrowding that's taking place there?
Well, it's anything but empty at this point in time. This the bus stand that we're looking at has at least about 300 to 400 buses, and most of those buses already have people seated inside. And the crowds that are outside as well, now you can see, are a large number. So the buses are not moving as of yet, and that's probably why we're not looking at the people outside. But the bus stand at this point in time at least has about 2,000 to 3,000 people. And of course, as you mentioned, the concern of social distancing is very realistic. And you can see that happening right now as people try to board these buses. There are officials, of course, who are checking for their temperature, as I mentioned earlier. There are ASHA workers, there are KSRTC staff, all of them working together. But of course, with the number of people that gather each time a bus comes in here, is definitely much more. But what the government has done much better than it did yesterday when I was here, where the situation was really out of control, was really increase the fleet of buses, which reduces the burden on each of these buses, and also ensures that the number of people who are here, all of the buses don't have to be packed. They can have social distancing maintained inside as well. So that's something that's better today. But of course, the crowds are just rising, and Bengaluru has done pretty okay up until now in terms of managing the number of positive cases. But the next 15 days with crowds like this gathering in huge numbers and people moving from one district to another will be very, very important, and how the state really manages these next 2 weeks will decide the fate of Karnataka in the coming months.
Absolutely. Right now, it appears very concerning because the social distancing norms clearly are not being followed there. But Deepak, very quickly, what is the status of the migrant laborers, the daily wagers? Do you also see a lot of the daily wagers and the migrant workers coming in and thronging in large numbers at these bus stops?
Yes, now we should understand that migrant laborers within Karnataka, of course, are much lesser in comparison to the migrant laborers who are coming in from other states itself. So yes, as we speak, you can see some of the migrant laborers who are now probably from North Karnataka. Now they're heading out. They're trying to board the buses of their choice. But of course, as I mentioned, the migrant laborers from other states are much more, and they cannot come here because these buses that are being provided are for intra-state travel, and it's not for interstate travel. So there are special trains that are being provided, and other ways of transport, including buses for the migrant laborers. They of course are still struggling. I saw at least about 100 people waiting outside a police station, because for a travel outside a state, the norms that have been prescribed are much more. The documentation is much more. There were huge queues, in fact, that were witnessed to Xerox, Aadhaar cards and other documents to be provided to the police before the, migrants can actually travel. So, their difficulties still continue. They say, their families back home do not, have money at this point in time to sustain. They've been living off, free ration kits that are being provided by NGOs and politicians. So, definitely the situation really hasn't improved much for them.
All right, Deepak, many thanks for joining us and bringing us that ground report there coming in from the Majestic bus stop, which is quite concerning right now. The crowds there coming in and social distancing norms not being followed there at this point. India has in fact entered its third phase of the lockdown, with several graded relaxations across the country based on the zones, which is the red, orange and the green zones. Now, these zones have been categorized on the number of COVID cases that has been reported from each of these areas. The phase 3 of the lockdown, which is lockdown 3.0, will continue for the next 2 weeks, which is till 17th of May. Meanwhile, the total number of cases in the country, the positive cases in the country, has crossed the 42,000 mark, with over 1,400 deaths that have been reported overall. Now, here's an update that is coming in from the state of Karnataka, as the graded relaxations has now been put in place. Several of the functions has been open. This also includes several of the companies that has reopened its offices today, also observing the social distancing norms and all the guidelines that has been put in place by the Karnataka government. Now, in order to revive the economy, the Karnataka government, remember, decided to resume the economic activities in the special economic zones and the industrial parks from today. But since the public transport is not available, people could be seen using their private vehicles out on the streets. Now, the people are only allowed to travel between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. without the passes, and cops have been deployed at various checkpoints and locations to keep a strict vigil on the movement of people. Let me go across to my colleague Shrija, who's joining me live this morning, getting us those updates there. Shrija, good morning. With the lockdown 3.0, the graded relaxations already kicking in. Give us a sense of the relaxations, at least for the companies and businesses which have now resumed. And what are the measures and directives being given to these companies at this point?
Well, good morning, Apurva. In fact, this has always been on the mind of Karnataka government. Remember, over the last 2 to 3 days, we've been witnessing how there's been several of the discussions and cabinet meetings that have been chaired as to how to revive the economy. And one of the major points was especially to, in fact, relax the lockdown. And the first thing that we witnessed this morning is that we could see people coming out, remember, venturing out on the streets. We're also looking at where people were going, heading to their offices. That is first thing that we saw. Several of the roads have been barricaded, and we also see that the cops have been also deployed at some of the arterial roads. Some of them are also being stopped. In fact, this is not, remember, there is of course no pass being used at this point in time. People will be allowed to travel between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Okay.
But however, we see, you remember, they're keeping a very strict vigil on people because they clearly want only people with the purpose to go out. That is one thing what we're looking at. And also we understand that especially 33% of the staff will be allowed especially to work. We are talking about the IT capital here, Bengaluru. So some of them have already started to go to office, including we're talking about the construction workers. We're looking at the in situ. So some of them have already reached the site. Now, this is something where we understand the Karnataka government is planning to begin or revive the economy by starting such operations from today. That apart, we're also looking at how there's robust operations happening in especially special economic zone. Remember, this is from starting today. And that apart, one major point, what we witnessed since morning, this is 9 a.m. and which will go on till at least about 6:30 p.m. We understand where liquor stores have been thrown open right now,
Okay.
even in the zones, but it will be barred in containment zones. So the visuals that you're seeing right now is people coming out, they're venturing out on their own private vehicles because remember, the public transport has been completely, the service has been right now banned at this point in time. And also we're looking at people when they're heading to their offices. Secondly, we are looking at long queues. We're talking about serpentine queues that is queued up right before the liquor stores. Of course, we are looking at people trying to maintain social distancing because even the stores have also ensured that this is in place. We are also looking at cops they are going on rounds to ensure
All right.
that there is no crime, especially in the neighborhood shops and the standalone shops.
Also, Shrija, while we understand that people could be seen taking their own private vehicles out since the public transport is not available, there were certain MHA guidelines for those who are using their private transport as well, their private vehicles at this point. Are those guidelines being followed, and what is the kind of arrangements being made on ground to ensure smooth movement of the people on the roads?
Well, the first step that's taken by the Karnataka government, including we're talking about the Bengaluru cops, what we're looking at is that several of the arterial roads have been right now barricaded. This means people will have to take a detour, also to ensure that there is no traffic. Remember, there's no traffic pileup. That is one thing. Second, most important thing is that people cannot travel. The speed limit has been set here by the Bengaluru police, which is at 30 kilometers per hour. And the third most important thing, what we're looking at is that after the detour that we're talking about, not really everybody can venture. Of course, they have given especially a stipulated time limit, which is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But once after that, what we understand is that police will be seizing the vehicles and also like talking about how about the vehicles, private vehicles.
Okay.
Yes, there is limit because pillion rider cannot go on a bike, a two-wheeler. As far as four-wheelers are concerned, except for the driver, only two other passengers can travel on a four-wheeler.